All right, everyone, welcome back. Ready for another deep dive?
Always up for a good deep dive.
Awesome. So today, we're going to be looking at Nagano Tonic.
Interesting.
It's this weight loss supplement, and let me tell you, it's making some pretty wild claims online.
Oh, like what?
We're talking effortless weight loss, boosted metabolism, even, a little nudge, nudge, wink, wink about increased sex drive.
Wow, they're really going for it, huh?
Yeah, they're trying to hit every angle, it seems.
Mhm.
We got two sources for this deep dive, the product's website and this super positive YouTube review. Someone really wanted us to look into this one.
Sounds like a fun challenge.
Right. Let's see if we can separate fact from fiction. So first up, the Nagano Tonic website. They call it, get this, a mystical Japanese elixir.
Mystical, huh? That's certainly grabbing the attention.
And they're going all in on the exotic ingredients, stuff like camu camu and mangosteen. I'm all for trying new things, but I'm also curious about the actual science behind it all.
Yeah.
What were your initial thoughts when you saw the website?
Honestly, it's all very visually appealing. Beautifully designed, very slick. But when you start digging into the actual scientific evidence, things get a little less convincing.
Okay, so maybe not as mystical as they're making it sound.
Not quite. For example, they talk about camu camu being this incredible weight loss ingredient. But the studies they cite, well, they used really high doses, way more than you'd probably get in one serving of this tonic.
Ah, so it's the classic trick of cherry-picking research to fit their narrative.
Exactly. It's a common tactic in the supplement industry. They find a study that shows some potential benefit, but they don't always mention the limitations of that study or that more research is needed.
Yeah, it's like saying, hey, dark chocolate has antioxidants, so eat a whole bar every day.
Right. It's all about context, which is often missing in the marketing.
And speaking of marketing, they really, really push the money-back guarantee, almost like it's supposed to replace actual scientific evidence.
Yeah, the money-back guarantee, it's a classic move. But it shouldn't be the deciding factor when it comes to your health.
Right. It's like you wouldn't choose a surgeon just because they offer a refund if the surgery goes wrong.
Exactly. You'd want to see their credentials, their experience, actual evidence that their methods work.
So yeah, a money-back guarantee might make you feel a bit better, but it's not a replacement for actual research and making smart decisions.
Absolutely. And speaking of making smart decisions, before we jump into that YouTube review, there's something I wanted to bring up. Something that, well, it might be relevant to our conversation about weight loss and all that. Have you heard of the Japanese water loophole?
The Japanese water loophole. Ooh, that sounds intriguing. Tell me more.
Well, it's this approach to hydration, a specific way of drinking water that some people believe can help with feeling full and boost your metabolism. Some even say it can help with weight management.
Wait, hold on. A special way of drinking water can help with weight loss. I'm all ears.
It's all about building those good habits. Small, everyday things that can make a difference. It's not a magic solution or anything, but it's a practice that some find quite helpful. We actually included a link in the description where you can learn more about the Japanese water loophole, see if it's something you might want to try.
Awesome. Everyone listening, you heard it here first. While we're figuring out this whole Nagano Tonic thing, check out the link in the description for more info on the Japanese water loophole. Might be just the thing you're looking for. Now, back to our main event. We were about to get into that YouTube review, right?
Yeah, our listener sent us a review by a woman named Amelia. She claims she had some pretty amazing results with Nagano Tonic.
All right, let's hear about Amelia and her amazing results. I'm always a little cautious with these personal stories, but I'm definitely curious to see how it all lines up with what we're learning about Nagano Tonic itself.
So Amelia, she talks about how she's struggled with her weight for years, tried all sorts of diets and exercise programs. Nothing seemed to stick.
Yeah, it sounds familiar.
Right. And then she finds Nagano Tonic. And get this, claims she lost 60 pounds in just 5 months, all without changing her diet or exercise routine.
Whoa, 60 pounds.
Yeah.
In 5 months. With no changes to diet or exercise. That's a pretty big claim. I mean, good for her if it worked. But I gotta be honest, I'm a little skeptical. There's got to be more to the story, right?
Yeah, I think it's wise to approach these testimonials with a bit of caution. We see so many of these online reviews, and they're not always entirely accurate.
Yeah, for sure.
It's easy to get caught up in someone else's success story, but we got to remember everyone's different.
Totally. We don't know anything about Amelia's overall health, her genetics, her lifestyle, all that stuff that plays a role in weight loss.
Exactly. And that's not to say her experience isn't genuine, but it's important to remember her results aren't, like, guaranteed for everyone.
Okay, that makes sense. What else stood out to you about the review?
Well, one thing that struck me was how much she stressed buying Nagano tonic from the official website. Yeah, she kept warning viewers about fake products, even said some of the negative reviews are from people who, like, accidentally bought counterfeit versions.
That's interesting. Almost sounds like she's trying to, steer people toward a particular seller.
Yeah, exactly. And that raises a bit of a red flag for me. It's one thing to share your personal experience, but when a review starts sounding like, a sales pitch, you have to wonder if there's maybe a financial incentive involved.
Okay, so we've got potential bias in the YouTube review, that the website's relying more on marketing than science, and a money-back guarantee that, while nice, shouldn't be the only thing we consider. So what's the bottom line? What should someone keep in mind if they're thinking about trying Nagano tonic?
Honestly, I think the most important thing is to do your research. Don't rely on just the product website or like glowing testimonials. Look for independent reviews, scientific studies, talk to your doctor.
Yeah, good old-fashioned research.
Right. They can help you figure out your individual needs and, any potential risks, especially if you have any health conditions or are taking other medications.
Really important point. Supplements can interact with other medications. Always good to be safe.
Exactly. And while you're doing your research, I'd say take a closer look at some of those key ingredients Nagano tonic highlights.
Yeah, they throw around a lot of names, some I've never even heard of.
They do mention some potentially beneficial things, but it's important to understand how they work. And if the dosage in this specific supplement is enough to make a real difference.
So it's not just about what's in it, but also how much. Kind of like baking, got to have the right proportions.
Exactly. A great analogy. So one ingredient they mention is Panax ginseng.
Okay, ginseng.
It's been used in traditional medicine for a long time. And there is some research that suggests it could be beneficial for gut bacteria, which in turn could influence metabolism and weight management. But, and here's the thing, most of these studies use very specific extracts of ginseng at, like, very precise doses. We don't know if Nagano tonic uses the same type of extract or if the dosage is even high enough to get those benefits they talk about.
So we need to look deeper into the specifics of the ingredients and dosages.
Gotcha. What else?
Well, they also mention ashwagandha.
Oh, yeah, ashwagandha. I've heard of that one. It's like an adaptogen, right?
It's become pretty popular. But what people often forget is that different adaptogens work in different ways. The key is finding the right one for your particular type of stress. Ashwagandha is great for, like, calming a racing mind, improving sleep. Well, something like rhodiola, that's more for boosting energy and focus during the day.
So even if ashwagandha is good for some things, it might not be the right adaptogen for everyone. Or even the best choice for stress-related weight gain. Precisely. And again, those are the nuances that often get lost in simplified marketing messages.
This whole conversation is reminding me of something we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
The Japanese water loophole. It's a simple, natural approach focusing on how you drink water, and it can help with feeling full, boosting metabolism. It might not be as exciting as a mystical Japanese elixir, but sometimes those smaller, consistent changes can actually make a difference.
Couldn't agree more. It's about building those healthy habits into your routine, not just looking for a quick fix from a supplement.
And speaking of the Japanese water loophole, anyone who's curious and wants to know more, don't forget to check out the link in the description. It might be just the thing you need on your wellness journey. Discover the incredible Japanese water loophole that's helping people shed up to 57 pounds effortlessly. Ready to transform your weight loss journey? Visit https://bit.ly/Nagano-tonic-reviews-2025 to learn more and start your journey today, or clicking the link in the description of this podcast.
Absolutely worth looking into, especially if you're into those natural and sustainable ways to improve your health.
Okay, now that we've given our listeners some other options to think about, let's get back to dissecting Nagano tonic. What other ingredients should we put under the microscope? Let's see. They also talk about Momordica charantia.
Momordica charantia.
Yeah, also known as bitter melon.
Ah, bitter melon.
I've actually tried it in some Asian dishes. And while the name bitter melon is pretty spot on.
It really is. But it's been used traditionally to help with blood sugar levels, and there's some early research suggesting it might have some effects on metabolism as well. But, those studies used concentrated extracts of bitter melon. It's not clear how much is actually in Nagano tonic.
Right, right. So dosage and the form of the ingredient matter again. It's interesting how traditional use and modern science kind of overlap sometimes, but it also shows why it's so important to look beyond the surface with these products.
Absolutely. It's tempting to get caught up in the idea of ancient remedies or exotic ingredients. But we have to remember, traditional use isn't always scientifically proven. That's where being a critical thinker and doing your research comes in.
It's like being a detective.
Yeah.
Right? We got to put the pieces together. We've got these interesting ingredients, some potential benefits, but also a lot of marketing and some questionable claims. So what's the verdict? What advice would you give to our listeners who are trying to figure all this out?
I think the biggest takeaway is this. Don't get caught up in the quick fix mindset. Real, lasting health, it's a journey. It's about making informed choices, building good habits, and finding what works for you.
Yeah, such a good point. And it's so easy to believe there's a magic pill out there that'll solve all our problems. But it really comes down to those consistent efforts, those small, everyday choices that add up over time.
Exactly. It's about finding an exercise routine you enjoy, prioritizing healthy foods, managing your stress, getting enough sleep. All those basic things we know are important.
It's like building a house. Got to have a solid foundation. And those healthy habits, those are the foundation of a healthy life.
Perfectly said. And while supplements can be part of your wellness plan, they should never be the main focus.
Right on. I think that's a great place to wrap up our deep dive. We started with Nagano Tonic, this seemingly simple weight loss supplement, and ended up exploring so much more. The power of marketing, the ins and outs of scientific research, and really how important it is to be in charge of our own health journeys.
It's a good reminder that there's always more to learn. Knowledge is power, especially when it comes to our well-being.
And speaking of knowledge and empowerment, we can't forget that Japanese water loophole we talked about. It's a specific way of drinking water that some believe can help you feel full, boost metabolism, and even help manage weight. If you're looking for a natural, sustainable way to support your health, it's worth checking out. Discover the incredible Japanese water loophole that's helping people shed up to 57 pounds effortlessly. Ready to transform your weight loss journey? Visit https://bit.ly/Nagano Tonic Reviews 2025 to learn more and start your journey today, or clicking the link in the description of this podcast.
Simple but potentially effective, it could be a great addition to your overall wellness routine.
All right, everyone, that's a wrap for today. Remember, stay curious, keep learning, and always think critically about health information. Until next time, happy deep diving.